For my birthday, my parents sent me a gift box. My husband looked at it and said, "Don't open it." I asked, "Why? Can't you see it?" I looked closer and froze. I didn't open it. I did something else instead. 30 minutes later, police were at the door. I'm not a big birthday person. I don't throw parties. I don't post dramatic selfies with 34 and thriving. Honestly, I forget it's my birthday until my husband buys me a chocolate bar and makes a dumb joke about being married to a mature woman. That's enough celebration for me. So when my phone rang the day before my birthday and my mom was on the line, sounding like someone had injected syrup directly into her carotid artery, I already knew something was off. "Oh, sweetheart, we sent you a little surprise. It should arrive right on time." Right on time. Like my parents had ever been on time for anything that didn't involve my sister. So I played along. I said, "Oh, okay, thanks." She giggled. My mom doesn't giggle. "It's nothing big," she said. "Just a token of our love." That's the moment I should have known. Not because of what she said, but because she said love and didn't immediately follow it with a reminder that I'm too sensitive. But you want to believe, even after 34 years of crumbs, even when you've trained yourself not to expect anything. A stupid part of me went, maybe it's real. Maybe they're trying. They weren't. Anyway, it's my birthday. My husband, Jason, makes me pancakes and lets me drink coffee in bed while he handles a work call in the other room. It's peaceful, comfortable. And then the doorbell rings. A medium-sized cardboard box is sitting on the mat. No ribbon, no gift tag, no glittery happy birthday Riso balloon. Just a box, plain brown, printed label, taped like it was packed by a robot. Jason picks it up, carries it into the kitchen, sets it down. Then he stares at it like it might grow legs and run. I say, "That's from my parents." He doesn't say anything. "Mom called yesterday, said they were sending me a gift." Still nothing. "Then don't open it." I laugh. "Why? You think it's cursed?" Jason doesn't laugh. He nods at the label. So I look. Really look. No handwriting anywhere. Not on the label, not inside the seams, just a printed shipping tag with my name and address. The return address, a P.O. box. Not their street, not even their city. I start to feel a little cold. Jason steps closer and taps the edge of the box with one finger. "There," he says. "Do you see it?" I lean in. My heart trips. Then it stumbles. Everything inside me goes still. Not fear exactly. Not yet. Just dread with a familiar face. I don't say a word. Neither does Jason. He just steps back again. Fully. Quietly. And that's when my phone rings again. It's my mother. Jason looks at the screen. I look at him. I swipe to answer and hit speaker. "Sweetie, did it arrive?" I pause. Jason doesn't move. My thumb hovers over the end call button, but I don't press it. "Yeah," I say. "It came. Did you open it?" I glance at the box. "Yeah," I lie. "I opened it. It's beautiful. Thank you." "Oh, sweetheart. We just wanted to remind you how much we love you. You're a girl. Don't ever forget that." My stomach drops. Because my mom has never said that. Not when I graduated. Not when I got married. Not when I cried on her couch after a miscarriage 2 years ago. Jason looks at me. I shake my head slightly. "Well," she says, all sing-songy, "we just thought you deserved something nice. You're so strong. You always have been." Then she hangs up. I don't say anything for a while. Neither does Jason. The box sits between us like it's watching. "I hate how nice she was," I say finally. "I know," Jason says. "She only calls me sweetie when she's about to lie." I know. And they never send gifts. Not even at Christmas. Remember that one time they gave my sister a Peloton and me a scented candle from the gas station? Jason laughs. I think the candle was used. I think it was expired. We stand there a while longer. I want to throw the box out the window, but also set it on fire. Which is sort of contradictory, but so is my family. Eventually I sit down. Jason makes tea. The box stays on the counter. We don't open it. We don't even touch it again. It just sits there, taking up space. Saying nothing. Saying everything. 30 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. It's not a neighbor. It's not Amazon. It's a uniform. "Are you Riso?" I nod. "We've received a report about a package delivered to this address. Do you mind if we come in and ask a few questions?" And that's where I'll stop for now. Because the box is still there. And so is everything that came with it. To understand how we got here, you need to understand my life. Or at least you need to understand Ellie. Ellie's my younger sister. Younger by 3 years, but lighter by about 1,000 emotional pounds. If I'm duty, she's delight. If I'm the one who remembers everyone's birthdays, Ellie is the one who just can't deal with that kind of pressure right now. She was the golden child. Not in a sparkly, overachieving way, more like in a let's not make her upset kind of way. She cried easily. That was her power. I didn't. That was my mistake. I think I was 8 the first time I took the blame for something I didn't do. We had this hideous vase in the hallway. Dark green ceramic, probably worth $12, but treated like the crown jewel of the family estate. One day it shattered. Loud crash. Big mess. Ellie was standing over it, bottom lip trembling like a cartoon. I remember walking into the hallway and just knowing what was about to happen, like a reflex. When Mom showed up and started yelling, Ellie pointed at me. "Riso did it." Just like that. No warm-up, no eye contact. Just betrayal, clean and cold. I hadn't touched the stupid thing. I hadn't even walked past it. But I said nothing. Because I was older. Because she was crying. Because I knew how this movie ended. Mom looked at me like I was a disappointing puzzle she couldn't put back in the box. "Well, you're the big sister. You should have been watching her." I got sent to my room. Ellie got a popsicle. And that was that. Another time, I think I was 12, Ellie borrowed my favorite sweater, wore it to school, got paint on it during some creative moment in art class, and then blamed me for not telling her it was special. Mom just nodded like that made sense. "Why didn't you hide it better, Riso? You know she's still learning boundaries." That sweater had been a gift from my grandmother. Ellie never apologized. She said I overreacted. Then she cried. Then she got ice cream. And I learned again, truth doesn't get you comfort. Tears do. By the time we were adults, we weren't so much sisters as two people who grew up in the same house and tried to keep the peace whenever our parents were in earshot. Ellie didn't go to college. She did a yoga certification, sold essential oils for 3 months, made a spiritual art Instagram that was actually just reposted Etsy screenshots and photos of her holding coffee mugs on beaches. Somehow none of it ever failed. It just evolved. That's what my parents said. She's finding her way. She's got such a creative soul. Not everyone fits the mold, Riso, which is hilarious because I never wanted Ellie to fit the mold. I just wanted her to pay back the $600 she borrowed to launch her failed bath bomb line. But I didn't say that. I just watched from a safe, emotional distance as she failed upwards with my parents cheering in the background. About a year ago, I got a call from Mom. She wanted to take me to lunch. "Just me?" I asked. She said it like a treat, like I should be grateful. We met at this farm-to-table place she always pretended to love, but secretly called overpriced. Ellie was already there, sipping a kale smoothie and looking like a discount lifestyle blogger. They were friendly. Too friendly. We ordered small talk. Then Ellie hit me with it. "So, I was wondering, would it be okay if I used your name and address for something? Just for a business account. For this little art thing I'm working on. It's not shady or anything. It's just easier because I'm kind of between leases and you're so stable." That word, stable. It always meant the same thing. Boring, predictable, easy to pin things on. Mom jumped in. "We just thought it made sense. You're good with paperwork, and it's just temporary, really." I didn't get angry. I didn't even hesitate that long. I just said no. Calm, quiet, absolute. Ellie blinked. She smiled too quickly. "Hey, well, that's okay." Lunch ended early. After that, the freeze-out started. Not dramatic, just a gradual colder, drier kind. The Christmas invite got lost. My dad sent a passive-aggressive email about not supporting family projects. Ellie unfollowed me on Instagram. I didn't even notice until a friend pointed it out. I told myself I didn't care, but I did. I think a part of me thought they'd come back around, that they'd respect the boundary, that saying no wouldn't make me the villain. Instead, they just moved on without me, which was honestly fine. Quiet is better than chaos. And I've built a pretty peaceful life. A quiet house, a kind husband. No one screaming, no one crying on command, no vases smashed in the hallway. But when that box landed on my doorstep, on my birthday of all days, something in me knew. This wasn't random. They weren't being kind. They were being careful. Jason tapped the edge of the box. "There, do you see it?" I leaned in. My heart tripped. Then it stumbled. It wasn't just the label. It was everything. The font, the plastic wrap, the barcode alignment, the kind of details you only notice when you've seen them up close before. And I had. A year ago, we'd stopped by Ellie's apartment, me and Jason, to return some dishes. She was knee-deep in packing peanuts and calling it inventory. Her hallway looked like a warehouse. Boxes everywhere. They felt the same way. Same logo, same gloss, same smell, like varnish and melting glue. She'd laughed when I picked one up and told me to put it down. "The supplier's strict," she said. "They track who opens what." She called them strict, Not careful, not expensive, strict. And now that same supplier had sent a box to me, directly, with my name on it, not repackaged, not recycled, a new label, new seal, new box. From them to me. Jason didn't say anything else. He didn't have to. This wasn't a gift they sent using an old box. This was a shipment, a deliberate one, the kind Ellie never lets anyone else touch. And somehow it landed on my kitchen counter. I didn't speak because there wasn't a single thing I could say that didn't taste like betrayal. After I saw the packaging, I already knew. Then came the call. My mother, syrupy and soft, asking if I'd received our little gift. I told her yes. Told her I opened it. Told her it was beautiful. I hadn't. Jason stood next to me in the kitchen, arms crossed. I picked up my phone, tapped record, and set it on the counter beside me. Not out of instinct, not out of paranoia. Because I'd already seen the box. Because I knew what this was. They weren't sending me a gift. They were sending me a problem with my name already printed on it. The knock came less than half an hour later. I opened the door to a uniformed officer, polite and expressionless in that practiced way. "Are you Riso?" I nodded. "We received a report regarding a suspicious package delivered to this address. Would you mind if we came in and had a look?" Jason stepped into view behind me. I opened the door wider. "Sure," I said. The box was still on the counter, unopened. Same taped edges. Same weight I hadn't been able to shake since it arrived. I gestured toward it. "That's the one," I said. The officer walked over, looked it over like it might move. His partner stood just behind, eyes scanning the kitchen like we might have a warehouse tucked under the table. "It was addressed to you?" he asked. "Yep, birthday present from my parents." "You've opened it?" "No." He nodded once. "Would you mind if we opened it?" "Go ahead." They were methodical. Gloves, box cutters, everything by protocol. The flap peeled back with a dry sound. Inside, bubble wrap, decorative pieces, the kind of soulless things people overpay for when they want to look cultured. A few little figurines, a certificate of authenticity, and a shipping slip with my name, of course. One officer scanned a QR code on the bottom of a piece. He glanced at his partner. They exchanged a look I couldn't quite read. "Do you know what these are?" the first one asked. "I mean, they look like art." "Kind of," I said. "Do you know where they came from?" I shook my head. "I told you, my parents sent it to me as a gift." "Do you have proof of that?" I picked up my phone and played the recording. My mother's voice came through, bright and hollow. "Did you get our little gift? We just wanted to show you how much we love you. You're our girl." I stopped it there. It was enough. The officer nodded. "We're going to take this with us. You're not being charged at this time, but this shipment matches materials in an active investigation." I gave a tight smile. No problem. They boxed it back up like it was a biohazard, thanked me again, and walked out the front door with Jason trailing behind them. I sat down at the kitchen table. My coffee was still warm. That felt offensive somehow, like the universe was trying to suggest everything was normal. 3 hours later, my phone rang again. I didn't check the number. Didn't need to. I answered. My mother's voice was no longer soft. "How could you?" I didn't respond. "You told the police it was Ellie's." "I told them who sent the package. I said you did." "You know what this means for her." "Yes, I do." "You could have kept your mouth shut. You could have said it was a mistake." "You called me. You checked to make sure it arrived, and then you tipped them off." "We didn't have a choice." "You always have a choice. If they found it at your place, it would have ended there. Quiet. Contained. No one else gets hurt. So you sent stolen goods to my house, in my name, and hoped I'd be dumb enough to open them." Silence. Then my father's voice came in. Low. Measured. "We thought they'd seize the items and move on. We didn't think they'd trace it back this far. But you thought they'd trace it to me. Riso, you're stronger. You've always been stronger." He used my name. "You used my house. Ellie's not built for this." "And I am?" "You don't have kids. You'd bounce back." There. That was the reason. That was always the reason. "You've always been the cold one," my mother said. "And now look what you've done." I didn't answer. I ended the call. Jason came back into the room, a cup of tea in each hand. He set one down in front of me and didn't ask anything. I looked at the counter. The space where the box had been felt like a scar. "They really thought I'd open it," I said. Jason sat down across from me. "They really did," he said. And that was all there was to say. A week after the police took the box, the detective called me again. I was halfway through a bowl of cereal. Jason had just left for work. The sun was doing that nice warm window thing. You know, when things feel like they might be okay again. Then my phone lit up. Unknown number. Of course. "Riso, do you have a few minutes?" "For what? Why not? Burn it down before breakfast." We need to confirm something. Your name appears on multiple documents related to the business your sister operated. Have you ever registered a business under your name? No. Have you ever listed yourself as a co-owner or manager for any company tied to art sales, resale platforms, or international supply chains? I actually laughed. I once tried to sell a bookshelf on Facebook Marketplace. That's as far as my entrepreneurship goes. He didn't laugh, not even a pity chuckle. There's a digital signature filed with your name and a business email address attached to a now suspended account. Let me guess, risoweller73@sketchyartmail.com? It ends in dot designs. Of course it does. Would you mind looking at the digital signature? He sent it over. It took about 3 seconds to confirm what I already knew. It wasn't mine. I mean, it was my name, sure. Just not in my handwriting. Like someone tried to imitate it after glancing at the back of a birthday card once. Is that your signature? No. Do you recognize this email? No. Could your sister or parents have had access to any of your old documents? I paused. Yes, years ago. Tax stuff, ID copies. I used to trust them. That was the last time I said that sentence out loud. Past tense and everything. He walked me through what they'd found, or tried to. Anyway, my brain turned some of it into static. A business license filed under my name. My old address listed as the official return center. Digital trail pointing back to Ellie's devices. Supplier contracts. Payment links. And a full-blown fake email account pretending to be me. You've technically been listed as a silent partner for over a year, he said. I wanted to say something sharp, something clever. But all I managed was, of course I have. He asked if I'd be willing to provide a written statement confirming that I never authorized any of it. I said yes. I sent it over that afternoon. I even included a copy of my actual signature for comparison, just in case anyone needed help playing Spot the Fraud. He thanked me for my cooperation and said they'd follow up if they had further questions. That was it. He didn't tell me what would happen next. He didn't say Ellie's name again, didn't say the word charges, didn't promise justice. He just thanked me and hung up, which, to be honest, felt more honest than anything else I'd heard in months. After that, there was nothing. For a while, no calls, no questions. Just quiet, like the world went into buffering. I figured either everything was happening behind the scenes or nothing was, and both were equally terrifying. And then it all moved at once. Ellie's charges, wire fraud, identity theft, business fraud, import-export violations, and being the world's neediest sibling. Okay, I added that last one in my head. She pled out, obviously. 2 years probation, a fine the size of a new car, no business license until halfway to menopause. My parents' charges, conspiracy, aiding and abetting, pretending they were too naive to know what a scam looked like. They pled guilty. Suspended sentence, community service, fines. Their names in the public record. No hiding behind, we're just her parents anymore. I didn't go to the hearing. I didn't need to see Ellie cry in a beige cardigan while my mother squeezed her hand like she was the one on trial for being a misunderstood genius. But I read the transcript. My name was mentioned 12 times. No apologies, not once. Then, because life apparently still had jokes left to tell, they asked to meet. No Ellie this time, just the two of them. A peace talk over burnt coffee. They picked a cafe near the courthouse. I showed up 10 minutes late and ordered the most overpriced pastry on the menu, just to make a point. They were already seated. My mother looked like she was trying to figure out what expression would make me feel guilty fastest. I didn't sit right away. We didn't know she used your name, she said. You didn't ask either. She said it was just for shipping. Yeah, because that's how fraud works. You just ship it somewhere new and hope no one asks questions. My dad cleared his throat, always his favorite move when logic runs out. We thought it was just temporary. She said you wouldn't mind. She also said I'd open the package, remember? Turns out she says a lot of things. We didn't think it would go this far. You mean you didn't think you'd get caught? They both went quiet. Then my mom went for the jugular. You've always been stronger, Riso. You don't have kids. You don't have anyone relying on you. We thought you'd be able to recover. And there it was, the justification. Polished, practiced. As if they'd said it to each other 100 times already. You offered me up, I said, because no one else depends on me, because you decided my life was easier to lose. That's not what we meant. No, that's exactly what you meant. I wasn't even angry anymore, just done. I stood up. My coffee was still half full. I didn't take it with me. I hope you both enjoy your community service, I said. Maybe you'll finally learn what real work looks like. That night I blocked them. Deleted every contact. Cleared every backup. Removed their names from everything that still had an emergency number listed. Gone. Not out of spite, just out of necessity. They don't get access to me anymore. Not even the version they made up. The next morning, Jason brought me coffee. We sat in the kitchen, quiet sunlight pouring in like it belonged to us. You okay? He asked. I sipped. I'm done. He didn't ask, with what? He didn't need to. What do you think? Did I go too far or not far enough? Leave a comment. Subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell.